The number one thing that's going to change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship, is you must raise your standard. All of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want. We get what we have to have. We all get what we tolerate. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes. The difference in people is their standards, period. Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should lose weight. I should work out. I should work harder. I should make more calls. I should. And then you know what? People don't do their shoulds and they get mad at themselves. What changes people is when your should becomes a must. And suddenly the thing you said should happen has to happen. That's when human beings change. It's like if you want to take the island, burn the boats. Because if there's no way to go back, it's amazing what happens when it's a must to do something versus a should. That's what makes human beings succeed.
I believe that most human beings are only living at about 40% of their capability. So the mind has a governor. We have a factory, a nice governor in our brain, and it's a survival mechanism. It protects us from pain and suffering. The second we feel that our mind says, oh no, this isn't fun. We should back off. We should sit down, find something more comfortable. And there's something about the mind. The mind has the tactical advantage over you. It knows what you're afraid of. It knows your insecurities. It knows your deep, dark lies. And it starts to push you away from that. It pushes you in a direction that is comfortable. The mind controls everything.
Getting better isn't a hack or a trick or a one change that you need to make. Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. An incessant fight that doesn't stop against weakness and against temptation and against laziness. It's a campaign of discipline. It's a campaign of hard work and dedication. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between, every single day. So, you want to get better? You want to self-improve? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock. Find your discipline. And find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will. And then you will find your freedom.
So at 40% I'm feeling pain. That's where the 40% rule kicks in. Now it starts. My mind's saying all this to me. It's saying get out of here, run, flee. The fight or flight kicks in. Okay, we're done. We're not good enough. It starts telling you all these things. You start to believe it because the mind controls all. This is the time where you have to gain control back of your mind. It's okay, let me see if I can go 45%. And once you start giving yourself more and more hope and start realizing, okay, the mind starts to be, what are you doing? We're supposed to be going right and you're going left. You start then controlling your mind. Start finding more in yourself, and then it goes from 40% to a lot further than that. But that's the start of it though. Get to the spot where your mind is saying stop. Wherever that is, get there first, and then that's when that starts to work for you. You got to control yourself in that moment.
Let me tell you a story. So a friend of mine and I, we went for a run in Central Park. The Roadrunners organization, on the weekends, they host races. And it's very common at the end of the race, they'll have a sponsor who will give away something, apples or bagels or something. And on this particular day, when we got to the end of the run, there were some free bagels. And they had picnic tables set up, and on one side was a group of volunteers. On the table were boxes of bagels, and on the other side was a long line of runners waiting to get their free bagel. So I said to my friend, let's get a bagel. And he looked at me and said, the line's too long. And I said, free bagel. And he said, I don't want to wait in line. And I was like, free bagel. And he says, nah, it's too long. And that's when I realized that there's two ways to see the world. Some people see the thing that they want, and some people see the thing that prevents them from getting the thing that they want. I could only see the bagels. He could only see the line. And so I walked up to the line. I leaned in between two people, put my hand in the box, and pulled out 2 bagels. And no one got mad at me, because the rule is you can go after whatever you want. You just cannot deny anyone else to go after whatever they want. Now, I had to sacrifice choice. I didn't get to choose which bagel I got. I got whatever I pulled out, but I didn't have to wait in line. So the point is you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to do it the way everybody else has done it. You can do it your way. You can break the rules. You just can't get in the way of somebody else getting what they want.
Your life doesn't end up in an accident. Your life is a series of actions that you initiate or don't initiate. And that your thoughts are going to control that roadmap. And so how are you using your mind today to either make yourself feel great or not? I posted on Instagram this morning. I said, listen, your destiny is ultimately controlled by a decision you already made this morning. Everyone watching this already made a decision this morning. This morning, they made it a life-changing, huge decision this morning. And that is either I'm going to get up, enter the world with no intention, go through the motions to hopefully get by or survive, or I am going to get clear in this morning about what I want, what I'm going after, who I'm going to be, how I'm going to serve, and whether or not I'm going to be excellent and extraordinary or not. And the problem is most people never make that conscious decision. So I was learning early on, make the conscious decision about who you want to be each day, stay congruent with that. And that was, for me, a kid who's just going through the motions, all of a sudden going, oh, who do I want to be? What do I want my relationships to be like? That was really important. And then I started setting personal challenges every month. At the beginning of each month, I do this whole thing where I holistically evaluate my life on the first of every month. And it's like these 10 different categories of my life, from emotional to relational to financial to career, mission, objectives, all these things. I go down that on the first of the month, just kind of a holistic viewpoint of my life. And then I set a personal challenge and a professional challenge. And I do that every month. Every Sunday, I revisit my progress. Every Sunday, for 23 years. So it's not like I'm just, one day ended up in a happy life. It was like that a level of self-evaluation that most people avoid until their birthday or New Year's. I do it every Sunday and every first of the month, and I don't ever miss. And I think that has helped me kind of know what my thing is. Because I don't think I'm super special. It's like what I help people do, and this is chapter 1 of High Performance Habits, right? Seek clarity. The only reason I get to work with all these people you mentioned is because they're at a new level in their life where they're going, what is it now for me? And I help them kind of figure that out. Like, what is it now for you about how you want to define yourself? What types of relationships you want and how deep you want to go? What is it that you want to develop as skill sets? And what is the specific service you want to provide? And I just work them through that because I've been working through that myself. So you're observing your life dispassionately from a place of mindfulness and understanding where the judgment isn't there that's negative. And so that's a huge part of it. Because a lot of people, the reason they hate self-audits and they hate self-evaluation because it feels bad, but they're letting it feel bad. Like instead, it's like, how do I perceive this and think through instead what my real intention should be? So how do I do it? And here's how I'd recommend others do it. First, I have my high performance planner, which literally details out. But if you don't have the high performance planner, here's a simple thing to do. 3 things I want you to do every day. First, I want you to write 10 prompts for the morning for yourself. 10 prompts. Those prompts for you might say, how can I be a great mother today? How can I show appreciation to someone on my team today? It might say, how do I care for my health today? It might say, 3 words I want to keep in mind all day. The message I have for myself today is this. The most difficult thing I'm going to face today would be this, and the best way my best self could overcome it is this. 2 big long-term projects to keep in mind are this, right? Those, write down 10 prompts. So the high performance planner begins in the morning. There's the 10 prompts that we know correlate with long-term success that we've measured. There they are. So I fill that out every morning. Second thing I want you to do, at the end of the night, 10 more prompts. What did I learn about myself today? What did I learn about other people today? Did I demonstrate my best today? Where did I not? Where did I get stuck? Where did I get frustrated? What negative thought did I have today that I don't need to have anymore? How did I treat people today? Did I move as swiftly towards my goals today? That type of thing. But the other piece about it is at night, I do the scorecard. So for me, it's the 6 habits of high performance now: clarity, energy, necessity, productivity, influence, and courage. And so there's the word clarity, and it says, was I very clear about exactly what I need to do today to move forward? Score 1 to 5. And so what you got to do, the third thing I want you to do, build your scorecard for the end of the night. And your scorecard might say dad. Your scorecard might say leader. Your scorecard might say specific. What I've made it is habit driven. So it's generate energy. Did I generate the energy I needed today to deliver my best? Productivity. Did I avoid distraction today and only focus on the needle moving activities? The nice thing about self-awareness is the human brain has this incredible capacity for guilt. And most people unconsciously let that roll over them and kick their butt and make it a horrible life. I love guilt. Guilt is a tool. Guilt is a weapon. Guilt does not have to be a bad thing. It's not like I perpetuate, but I'm like, I love that I feel bad when I don't do a good job. Most people hate that about themselves. I love that feeling. I'm like, I didn't do a good job there. Next time I will. So some people, guilt is discouragement. Other people, it's a signal for learning. To me, guilt is a signal for learning. It is the body and the brain, the spirit, knowing what is right, knowing what is wrong, knowing what's great, knowing what's mediocre. And it's saying, hey, do a little better. Now, if it's translated into a negative impulse, then some people call it guilt. But I'm totally cool with guilt. I think it's good that we feel bad when we do something that is below our standard or that's not right, because that impulse to go, I want to do that better.